Hi guys, I'm Woodcraft Hamster and I thought I'd do another quick episode on our Kuksa carve. Now this is where we've got to since the last time. I have smoothed out the inside of these bowls. Still a few tool marks, needs to be sanded down at the end, but they are pretty smooth. And that was achieved by using my dogleg gouge. Now if you're anything like me and you're kind of sitting there thinking what's the next tool I'm going to buy, what do I want to get, what's going to help me improve my carving, I would highly recommend a dogleg gouge. Now it's the first time I've used one in earnest and I was really impressed at how quickly and how easily it smoothed down these walls, helped me get right to the bottom of the bowl. So that's that part of it. What we're going to do today, this is actually going to be a really short episode, and the reason for that is I've got some commitments later on today and tomorrow, so I thought I'd just do a very quick bit of carving this morning. And what I was going to do was take a saw, cut down this middle line here so that we've got our two separate kuksas, and then start carving. But actually what I'm going to start off with is the axe. Now this is another tool that you would have seen in one of my other videos that I haven't yet used on camera, and I haven't really used it all that much off camera either. Now this is my Hans Karlsson Sloyd axe. It's a very nice, small, lightweight axe. Very light head on it, certainly in comparison to my normal carving axe, so you're going to have to bear with me on this, because basically I haven't really got sort of the hang of it yet. I tend to find every axe cuts slightly differently, and the weight of the head, the length of the handle and so on and so forth. You kind of have to learn how to use each one. And what I'm going to do, because this is still one large piece, and I should have shown you this a moment ago, so you can see on the back I've drawn a couple of lines on and they correspond with the far side of each bowl. And what I figured is while we've got this nice large piece of wood, I'm going to use the top part to be able to cut down here and then vice versa, flip over and cut down here, and all that's going to do is start smoothing off and making the sort of the outer shape of part of our bowl. And it just means that because it's in one big piece at the moment, we've got more to hold on to and therefore more control. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to move the camera around a little bit and we'll make a start. So I think I mentioned this in the last video about this axe. This was a bit of an impulse purchase. It was something that I've been looking at for a while, and it really is a lightweight axe. It's roughly the same kind of weight as my small Grantsfors mini hatchet, and I really just wanted to see how it performs. So I figured I'm going to use it for this part, and I may even use this for the remainder of this series just to get my hand in, get used to it, see whether I really like it or not. And all I'm going to be doing is just carving away from this line that I've put in here, getting rid of all this waste material. I may do a little bit down the sides as well while we've got this nice big piece of wood to play with, because obviously when I cut this in half to get the two kuksas, it just gives me slightly less material to hold on to, which, you know, is absolutely fine, but obviously the more distance you've got between your hand and the area that you're chopping, it's just that little bit safer. So without further ado, I'm going to make a start. I may speed through some of this footage, but I just want to give you a bit of a look and a feel for this axe. And to be fair, it seems to be carving pretty well. No real problems. Now obviously I am used to a heavier axe, so this is taking probably a little bit more effort on my part, but again it's just all to do with me getting used to using this axe. But you know, it's cutting cleanly, it's cutting well, so yeah, first impressions really good. No issues there at all. Right then guys, so I have carved down some of the back, and as you can see here, this side I've carved down relatively close to the edge of the bowls, not too close, don't need to do that yet, and I've left this side fairly wide, and I'm going to make a start on doing this one in a moment. First impressions of this axe after about 20 minutes of using it, It is a very light axe. You do need to put more effort in. I mean, it certainly gives your forearm a workout. And I think in hindsight this will probably become my sort of fine detail axe, as opposed to one that I would do a major carve like this with. So maybe, you know, once these have been cut down and we start shaping them more delicately, that's when this will come into its own. But I'm going to carry on using it for this particular series. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. It just takes a little bit more effort. So if you are thinking about buying one, first impressions, as I say, they're really nice. They cut really nice, really cleanly. But it's probably not what I would describe as a beginner's axe. You know, because you do have to use a fair bit of sort of forearm strength when you're using it, whereas some of the heavier axes you can just let the weight of the head do the work for you. So I'm just going to carry on just finishing off this side really quickly, and we'll come back and we'll see where we've got to. So there we go guys, just another really quick episode with a little bit of axe work just to get this down and ready for the next steps. As you can see, greatly reduced the amount of waste wood on here now, so we're getting somewhere closer to where we want to be. And also something quite interesting I did notice, and hopefully that picks up on the camera there okay. Underneath this kind of sort of layer of outer timber here on the end grain, which is, you know, normally I'd expect to find this under bark or something like that, but you can see under here, if I just rub my finger on this, you can see I'm getting a really dark sort of mess on there, and that is the fungus that is growing in this piece of drying wood. And that is what's going to cause our spalting. So it's basically a darker section that stains the wood, is eating into it. Now it's not causing us any problems at the moment. It's not going to destroy the wood per se. It's not going to make it too punky to carve with. I'm going to keep an eye on it, but actually I'm going to leave it in there, because the more of that that's in here, the more it will distribute through the wood, and hopefully we'll get a kind of a nice spalted finish at the end of things. At least that's the theory anyway. That's it for today guys, so I hope it was useful. Comments and questions in the box below. Hit like and subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I hope you'll all join me next time. Thanks guys.